Hello and welcome. I am Casey Berard and I wanted to pop on today and just say hello, check in on Friday. I call Friday Focus Fridays for me. I usually take the time to connect with whether or not I am getting my needs met, whether or not I'm staying in my focus and mindful about what I want to create in my life. So a theme that came up this week that gets people out of their lives, out of their focus, out of their now, is the fact that really challenging things happen. And I can really relate to this. I've got a challenging thing going on in my life right now, and it's probably 2 weeks in the making, although really like 10 years of stuff going on that has past history, or future experiences, and then stuff going on right now. So, and it's emotionally triggering for me. Like it puts big feelings through my body, whether they're anger, resentment, sadness, frustration, grief, rage, you name it. I have felt it all over the last 2 weeks. In fact, Tuesday I had a grace period and I had space to connect with a friend and really let myself feel it, which is really important. And that brings me to my next point. Because one of the dilemmas, and Brene Brown's research talks about this, is that you can't let's start again. You can't selectively sift and sort your feelings. So if you're going to feel feelings, you're going to feel them all. The good feelings, the bad feelings, the challenging feelings, the ones that you don't know because they're sort of complicated feelings. So happiness, sadness, rage, or let's go back, let's soften it to anger, fear, all sort of normal feelings. And then we get into more complicated ones like rage, resentment, contempt, jealousy, right? Because those are combination feelings and they're linked to really complicated thoughts and mixed feelings. So we want to be sure that our whole life isn't ruined by starting to feel our feelings, right? So this comes up and brings up the topic of disconnecting as opposed to dissociating. So dissociating is completely removing the feelings, the experience, the memories, and it can be on varying degrees from your person, right? And we might disconnect in a trauma, like a really extreme trauma. We might completely set aside everything and our brain will just protect us, okay? That's something we deal with in therapy. We need a really experienced person to help us manage that. What I'm talking about is where we have big feelings, but we want to still continue to feel them and not numb them with like drugs or alcohol or avoidance or that sort of thing. So I do what's called shelving it because I want to live my life, right? If I have dinner plans, but I've got something really turbulent going on in my life, I want to still be able to enjoy those dinner plans and know that I can handle my challenges, my big feelings, my big thoughts that need more processing time later. So when I used to teach yoga to big classes, I used to literally, that was the opening meditation, was welcome, settle into your body. I want you to just imagine a book, and in that book you can write down all the things that are worrying you, all the things that are frustrating you, and then you're going to just take that book and set it aside on a shelf, an imaginary shelf. If you can't visualize things, you can sort of set the intention to set down your burdens, to just leave them there. And the ironic thing, actors are taught this too when I did acting. You know, we'd have to show up and perform. And same with yoga, you want to be there in the yoga. At work, you want to be at work. So you can shelve or put aside or disconnect from those things. And then I would literally say, as people walked back out the door in the final closing meditation, so if you still need that stuff, go and pick it up. Take it with you, problem solve, work with it. If you don't need that stuff again, let it go. Just leave it. I would say, because I do Reiki and energy work, I would just say, I'm going to just recycle it back to the universe and turn it into love and light. So that's the good news, is that stuff always gets composted, that it sort of never goes to waste, as energy can't be created or destroyed. But we don't want to add to it. So there's a healthy way of processing stuff. And let's put healthy in air quotations, because we're all doing the best we can given our capacity, right? If we're up to the hilt in stress level or financial burdens or grief, we might be coping in less than satisfying ways, and we need to just add some compassion to ourselves and know that we're going to have to disconnect more consciously, with more awareness, and that's going to make things easier. So today I'm going, and my kids' school has amazing enrichment clusters, and I'm going to be hula hooping, which is really fun. And I don't want to bring these burdens to these beautiful children. And I want to break from them so my brain can chew them up and process them. And maybe even in that fun play, come up with a solution. So I'm literally going to visualize taking all those burdens out of my body, setting them on a shelf, and going and having fun. I'm teaching hula hooping, and going and having fun teaching the hula hooping to kids 6 to 11, and laughing and singing and dancing and playing. And then I will schedule time again to reconnect with those things. Okay? So again, just to recap, the difference between disconnecting is consciously setting it aside, knowing that you will problem solve with it later, knowing that you will deal with it later. And dissociating is completely blocking out, not seeing, not like it's just not there. You can't find it in your body, mind, or spirit. And it can be your body's way of helping you cope. But ideally, we want to really actually be mindful of that. And if we feel that stuff coming up, go to a therapist, because it can lead to a lot of other problems. Okay? If you need help with disconnecting, I'm your gal. If you've dissociated, please look for a really good therapist in your neck of the woods. Okay? I also wanted to announce that one of the ways we get better at disconnecting is really getting clear about our brain and being mindful. So I've created a 7-day meditation class. Now, I get bored of the same thing day after day, so I'm actually including 6 different meditation forms. And I think I've included 2 or 3 bonus ones on day 7, where you can either repeat and do one of the ones that you really liked from the first 6 days, or you can go back and you can do a new one that I've shared with you. I've included PDFs, so if you want the script from the meditation, you want to understand the meditation more in a written form, I've got beautiful PDFs for you, and what I think are beautiful videos for you, and you can feel free to download them and replay them and share them. And let's get meditation out there, because meditation has just, we're getting more and more scientific research, and of course we have 3,000 years plus worth of history from multiple religions and cultures meditating, and I would even include extended forms of prayer as being a form of meditation, that just say it helps so much with our brain and it gives us spaciousness. So I've included that link in the field. I don't know, I forget what you call it. I forget all these technical terms. Hey, Christina, thank you for coming in. But I want people to explore meditation, and I want people to know that there's more than one kind, because if following your breath is driving you nuts, then it is the first one that I share, and I think I do a pretty good job of it. But I share other ones with you. I share ones about lions and about potatoes, but all sorts of fun, odd, different, interesting things. So give me some feedback. I love to know also feedback about if you liked it, if you have more questions, if you want to know better ways of coping mindfully, because life is, can be hard. Life can be really great, but the hard stuff is what I'm here to help with, okay? So it's Casey Bard. I'm going to say goodbye now, and I hope you stop suffering and love your life, and looking forward to connecting with you soon. Take care.